What's up, guys? Welcome back. Amazing RC. Brian here. While we're taking a break, got the old extensive work on the Grand Hauler flatbed trailer here. Thought I'd run over a few of my really cool custom Hot Wheels cars. I actually got quite a few of them. I was trying to get this video done a couple days ago, but then I finished like 2 or 3 more Hot Wheels cars, so I kept putting the video off. But I'm going to do it today. So, got a couple really cool ones. This is a little Morris Mini. This is the first treasure hunt car that I did. It's a regular treasure hunt car, but ever since I started making these displays and making these really cool faux acrylic little labels or buttons you want to call, you know, I got the one here and then I got this one here. I've always wanted to do one to a treasure hunt car because you got the little treasure hunt symbol and I even got the text underneath it, you know, you have found a cool treasure hunt car. But I swapped the wheels out on this one and I gave it some cool little accents. I painted the intake manifold up top, gave it a nice little copper grille, painted the headlights, tail lights, turn signals, purple. I've had these purple rims probably 2 months and have never been able to find anything to put them on. And I thought they looked so good on this car. But it got a nice little display and I love it. I think this thing came out so good. So I got this little guy here, and then this is the one that I kind of waited on. I had a few other cars and I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to do a cool video on Hot Wheels. And then this one got finished. This is a Civic SI, and this is by far one of my favorite customs that I've done so far. I kind of went all out on this one. One of the first things I noticed is that the interior was black and you just couldn't see any of it. I mean, it had, you know, just this really cool interior inside. I noticed that there were what looked to be amplifiers in the back deck right below the back window. And I thought, man, I'm going to paint those 2 amplifiers and you're going to be able to actually see them through the window. Then I noticed that the sunroof had a scratch on it, and it was from moving around in the car for a while. And it kind of had like this little abrasive scratch on it. I didn't like it, so I cut the sunroof out. And that was not easy. That took a few minutes because it's very fragile. I literally have 2 super thin piano, you know, strings worth of wire of plastic on both sides holding the front glass to the back glass. But it came out so good. And then I get into the interior and I notice that not only does it have 2 amplifiers in the back, but it's got 3 subwoofers in the back seat. And I'm like, oh, this is really cool. So I painted those. The first thing I did, though, is I painted the whole entire interior silver. Kind of like a matted down silver. And it really brought the rest of the interior out. You could actually see the seats in it. You could see the amplifiers, the speakers. Then I kind of just touched everything with a little bit of color. Threw some nice chromy chromes on it. Man, this thing came out so good. This is one of my favorite ones so far. Such a pretty car. Hit it with some nice wax and just super, super nice car. Old Civic SI. My boy Will Thompson, Thompson RC, many of you know who I'm talking about, sent me a few cars. First, he sent me that old Neat Streeter 1973 Hot Wheels car. It's like old 40s, you know, Ford or something. And I still haven't got the axles right on that because that car, it's not like ripping one of these apart. I can go back to the store and buy another one of these for $1 every time I run a drill bit through it wrong. Well, you can't do that with the other car. I've got the body done. I basically smoothed it out. I kept all the chipped paint on it and I just clear coated it. I've got the wheels ready for it, but the axles had to be done in such a specific spot. I haven't figured out how to do it yet. So I'm still working on that one. But since then, Will sent me some cool channel stickers, and he sent me 3 more cars. I got an old mid-90s Dodge Ram truck with the removable top in the back over the bed. And he sent me something else too. Oh, an old lowrider. But then he also sent me a 1970 Celica. And this car's freaking bad. This is like a 2012 Hot Wheels, so you know it's got the old plastic chrome bottom, had a little bit of boo-boos on the bottom, but you're not looking at the bottom. The top was flawless, and I love this car. And I did a few things to it. One of the things I didn't do was the interior, and to be honest with you, this was one of the times where I didn't want a big loud interior on it. I kind of wanted everybody to pay attention to how sexy the outside was. So aside from putting these killer I guess, bronze, you know, like a matte bronze rim on it. Big, wide body. Tires fill perfectly. But it had these cool little headlamps in the front, and they were covered by plastic pieces that were transparent. You could see through. And I noticed that they kind of had a little bit of a luminescence to them, and I'm thinking, I bet they're chrome behind these plastic pieces. So once I got the car apart, I saw that they were. The whole entire rear window, front window assembly was all one piece. But then it has this long plastic piece that had two little lenses that went over the front of the car, over the headlights. And I thought, man, I'm going to cut them off. And I did. Then all of this was chrome. So I decided, all right, I'm going to matte black the bumper, the little lip in the front, little diffuser. I'm going to matte black that whole thing. And I'm going to leave those two headlights. And it looks so cool. When I had matte black the rear bumper, man, again, it's one of my favorite cars. This thing just looks so good. And like I said, with that flawless paint on there, I don't know what Will did with this car, but he didn't do much to it because it was just immaculate. I know of some new Hot Wheels cars that don't look this nice. So, bam, Will. Hope I did you right on that one. Super killer car. 70 Celica. So here's a little story. Uncle Lee done hooked me up and bought a really cool set. Had old 30s, 40s, big panel wagon on it. I put big old racing slicks on the back, racing slicks on the front. And then I had a hauler, just a big car hauler, real pretty, you know, stock premium hauler, had rubber tires on it already. And I sent it out to him, and he loved it, except that it was broken when he got it. And I was heartbroken. It hurt my inside so bad because it's Uncle Lee, you know. I don't want you to pay any kind of money, and I send it to you, and it done fell apart. The good news is that I realized what I was using prior, the method to making these axles, was subpar. And what I think I did was when I wrapped it up in the really cool, I always do these really cool packagings when I kind of mail them places. And I think I wrapped it up a little too tight, and I think they stacked a few things on top of it, or it got jostled around, and it just popped the axle right off from the inside. So now I do something completely different on the inside. The axle's actually trapped down by the top of the car. It's trapped and glued down. You're not getting this axle to move anywhere. This car can be played with by a 5-year-old, and it's not coming apart. But this is the replacement car, and this is cool. I know I've said these two are my favorites, but this one's my favorite too. And I'll tell you why. It's a Big Air Bel Air. First of all, I have a thing for matte finishes on these Hot Wheel cars. This one, I had this car the whole time, and it never occurred to me that this was the one for Uncle Lee. I could have sent him this first, and this would have been just as cool. But I think this one is just slightly better than the first one I sent him. So I'm not happy that it broke, but I'm okay that it broke, because now I'm going to send him this car. What makes this one cool is the entire interior was red on this one. And I same thing. I went to town, black, you know, front dashboard, black steering wheel. I have a real cool copper bronze color paint, real shiny. Hit 3 dials on there. I did the shocks actually come up out of the hood on this thing. Painted the shocks. Has a jerry can sit in the back. And this was like a silver color. It was this whatever. It's a part of this top piece here. And you almost couldn't see it. You could tell it was a jerry can, but not like this. I painted it red, put a little brass cap on it so you can see that. But then the best part, I mean, of course, got nice rubber, awesome rubber wheels, super good axles and all that good stuff. But then I sent it into the stratosphere. This actually had a fake spare tire in the back window. And as soon as I saw it, I said, all right, that's what I'm going to do for Uncle Lee. Because I knew that I could take, I got quite a few of these nice rubber tires with, I have this specific wheel, I got a few of these. They come off of this car right here, and they discounted these to like $3.50. So I nabbed like 6 of them, and I just ripped them all apart. This is one of the only ones I have left that is not ripped apart. I figured I'd keep one of them. So that's where all these wheels came from. And I thought, man, I'm going to put a real tire back there. I'm going to put a real real wheel and tire in the back window. And it wasn't easy to do. I had to physically shave the red tacky plastic fake rim and tire out of there without destroying the back of the plastic part, because that's what holds down this. See, what I used to do is I used to just cut the part that would hold down the axle to give room for my larger axles. I don't do that anymore because obviously it allows it to be popped up. So I just kind of shaved down that little alcove a little bit so it holds the larger axle down. So I couldn't lose the jerry can. I couldn't lose the part that holds these axles down. So I had to very delicately shave off with a Dremel that fake tire and wheel. And then I had to fit the actual tire and wheel. Guys, I love this thing, man. I could talk about this one for forever and ever. So as soon as I get an extra few bucks, I've already told Uncle Lee he's got something coming to him. Man, I think you're really going to like this. This is a cool car. I got this one. I think there's other stuff that I've got. Here, I'll tell you, there is some news as well. I've got a couple that I'm working on now, and then I got some that are on the way, and I got a couple projects coming as well. So here's what I got going on. I got an old EF Civic that I found. I got some killer chromey chromes going on that. This is a sexy car. Love the paint on this thing. Got an old 72 Skyline. Man, I got this thing. Gorgeous color. Got some bronze 5 stars going on it. So I've got it coming right now. And then I got a couple projects. I already have, I'm on Mercari, the old Mercari app. And I got contacted by somebody who said, hey, can you make me a custom car? Or something that I had back in high school. And I'm like, yes, I can. You know, what do you want? They wanted very specific. 96 Impala SS, matte black with shiny black racing stripes, the old silver 5 stars, the mag wheels that came on it, which I have, you know, a very specific car, you know, and then basically, you know, paint whatever you want on the inside, all that good stuff, in the display, blah, blah. So I got that coming. So the old Impala SS is on its way. And then I also have a 2013 Civic that a young lady wants done with display. Got a few things going with the display, which I'm very excited about. But the best one of all is Will Thompson. Will Thompson, again, from Thompson RC, wants me to paint his father's old car. Now, his father has, I think it's a 1970 Dodge Dart. Off the top of my head, I got to try to remember what it is. 1970 Dodge Dart, which Will found. He's already bought it, and it's on its way to my house right now. 1970 Dodge Dart. Are you ready for this? His dad had one sitting in the driveway back in the day. Could even still be there, I'm not sure. But it was a project car. And it, for some reason, like all of our project cars, just isn't done yet. And it's got rust on it. It's got this killer blue paint on it. It's got some funky green paint on the side where they were either testing a color or Will as a kid got a hold of a spray can. I'm not sure. I don't know if I heard that story yet. Will, you got to tell me where that green paint came from. But it's really cool, man. And he wants it painted just like that. And I said, yes, that's cool. So I'm going to go ahead and layer those colors up. Basically, you've got a light brown, a dark brown, a white, and then that blue, all layered up. And then you got to kind of eat through them very slightly to get basically patches of the whole half the hood is light brown with some dark brown in it. And then that's got a white, you know, I don't know if it was like the primer back in the day, but it's got a white, you know, line around the entire rust mark. And then there's, of course, rust all over the rest of the body. It looks so cool just sitting there in the driveway. You can tell they're old pictures. You can tell that this was something that was out there for a while, but it's going to surprise his dad with it, which I thought was really cool. So I've got a cool, oh yeah, that was the other thing about the SS. So I got Will Thompson's dad's car coming. You're going to see that soon. But then, this is what's cool about the old Impala SS. He contacted me back. He says, can you do the Dallas Skyline somehow on there? And I know how I'm going to do it. I don't know if you guys remember, but Jason's car had that old Charger, really, really pretty Charger that I painted for Jason. I actually took the card like this, and I cut out and glued the car into the back of the display so that you could see it was flat. You know, I didn't have anything hanging up. I am going to hand draw the Dallas Skyline and put that on the back of the display so it'll be behind the SS Impala. Man, it's going to look so cool. So anyway, I got a ton of cool Hot Wheels stuff going on right now. Very, very happy about any of these cars. Guys, comment section's yours. I still got a ton to go on these lights. I'm actually back into the Grand Hauler right now, trying to figure out exactly where I'm going to start moving all this stuff around to make sure that you don't see all of this rigmarole. I'm working on my plug. I got a little 6-way plug that I think is going to work to where I just got to plug it in one time. So I'm working on that too, guys. Got a ton of stuff going on. Like I said, comment section's yours. Hit me up. Tell me what you think about cool Hot Wheels stuff. Until next time, it's Brian, Amazing RC. We will get you guys another cool video very, very soon.